Salama, peace and blessing. You may wonder what that phrase, twin, what's going on, twin? What's going on, brother or sister, you know. So as I was reading in John 20, Thomas, one of the disciples of Jesus, Yeshua, he's called the twin. So I'm pretty sure, they probably called, hey, what's going on, twin? You know, so it was actually hilarious, reading that and knowing that Thomas, he's called the twin, and he's very famous. He's called the Doubting Thomas, and when I think of him, a lot of us have had that experience where we've had doubts in certain things, or doubt in ourselves, or doubt that this could happen, and we could definitely see ourselves in Thomas, twin. You know what I mean? We could relate to twin. You know what I mean? Like, it's my twin. Because we've had doubts. Especially when you having experience or something that's there's big that to do or accomplish, and you wonder, can I really do this? And you see other people doing it and have success. Why not you? Why not us? But yeah, so that phrase, what's going on, twin, is definitely been used by Israelite ancestors. Disciple Thomas was called a twin. But yeah, he's known for doubting that Jesus, Yeshua, resurrected, and he actually did what he was going to do. He told the disciples, after 3 days and 3 nights, after they crucify me, I'm gonna be risen. I'm gonna rise back up. I'm gonna resurrect, and then ascend back to my Father. Right? And they were listening, and he kept repeating. But something in their heart, deep down in their minds, they still had their doubts. Right? As John was explaining, after he was put in the tomb, after he was crucified, on the stake, on a tree, and they put him down to the tomb. They came on that first day. The scripture says the first day, of the week. Letting us know that it was right after the Sabbath, the seventh day. It's the first day of the week, which is a Sunday. The disciples, well, actually Mary Magdalene, the other scriptures show that she and the other Marys, they went to the tomb bringing spices and everything, just having faith, that they were gonna see the Messiah, and then noticed that he wasn't there. And the disciples were informed that he's risen, as he said, he's no longer there. So they ran. John's he's definitely called the son of thunder. He was competitive. He said, I ran, Peter, and to go see, but Peter was the one that stepped in with boldness, because he already had this conviction of belief. Because after he denied Jesus 3 times, and he got that the rooster, crowed, sounded the alarm, as the Messiah stated. So he was like, man, this is the Messiah. This is the anointed one. It is finished. He is the Most High. He is Yah himself. So he had his revelation himself, and going forward, he stepped in boldness. So he was the first one that stepped in there, stepped in the tomb, realized he wasn't there, and then John, himself came in, realized he wasn't there, and then he said when he saw, he also believed, right? So he also had his doubts as well, but John would, and they came to and saw the disciples like, he's really risen, he's resurrected, and I'm pretty sure they had their doubts until he appeared to them. He's like, whoa, he is real. This is the Messiah. This is Jesus Christ, Yeshua. right? And he appeared to them, and he says, "Salama, peace unto you," right? Um, so we said shalom. Um, so they they were actually like, wow, he really said, he really did what he said he was going to do, right? And Thomas wasn't there. So when Thomas came, the Messiah he was gone. He wasn't there, and they told him, said, "Look, he came to us. He appeared to us." He's like, "Man, I'm not gonna believe none." Twin said, "I'm not gonna believe anything you're saying until I see his hands. I see holes in his hands, that the way he was nailed, his feet. See where he was pierced. I want to see all of that. Before I could believe." Right. So the Messiah appeared to him. And he did the same thing. Salama, peace and blessings. Peace unto you. Right. He saw him, and he allowed him to touch the hole in his hands and his feet, see the holes and the piercing. He's like, wow. He said, "My master and my El, my Lord and my God," right? So, and the Messiah said a key thing. Said, "You see, it's because you've seen me, Thomas. That's why you believe, you know. But blessed are those who haven't seen, but they believe." So there's a power in believing, and it definitely moves, moving by faith. You don't see it. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, as mentioned by Paul in Hebrews 11:1. So definitely, that's what that phrase, twin, Thomas the twin. We know we all could have that experience, that we've had the doubts, but he wants us to walk in faith, walk in belief. So just wanted to share that with y'all. So that's what pop. I'm just, I saw that today reading. It says twin, and it's popular when we call each other, "What's going on, twin?" What's going on? What's pop? So what's going on? Um, so yeah, salama, peace and blessings.